Hey Temptresses, I am super excited for tonight. So many of y'all have hit me up and said that you were coming through for our little messy movement session tonight, and I'm super excited to have you join us. I know it's been a while, few weeks, y'all, and so and we've been doing all the things digitally, and so you might be hella exhausted of even trying to do anything else digital right now, and I totally get that. Grateful for each and every one of y'all who have, either signed up for the membership or bought the mini course or have participated in my 4-week series. It's been a real blessing to see how these processes can continue to be translated online and how we can continue to find ways to find moments of connection and pleasure and joy and radiance, even in the midst of the chaos. And tonight's class is really about calling your spirit back into your body. And it's not a perfect process. It's not about now that you've done this work, it's done and it's over and you won't ever have to do this again. Or about ignoring the shitty feelings or just trying to get into a positive place or just trying to get into a place where you're only seeing the good or you're hopeful about what's to come. But it's really about just reclaiming that inherent right to pleasure, to rest, to radiance, and finding the tools and activating those tools to be able to step into a space where you can feel a sense of ease again. And when we are experiencing chaos or distress, especially something that is beyond our control, it's really important for us to be able to come back to the truth of who we are and to remind our bodies and to remind our muscle memory that there is something bigger than the challenges that we're going through. And so I want to be very careful about not going into a space of like over spiritualizing, how to get through this process, because there's no right or wrong way. Like, you might be doing a lot of rest. You might be sleeping a lot. You might be eating a lot. You might be working a lot. You might be, doing a lot of different things. And one of the things that continues to become relevant is that we have to honor our emotional spectrum and honor exactly what it is that our bodies and our minds and our spirits are asking for us to do in that moment so that we can continue to survive. This is something that we've never been through as, ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've never, just had life shut down so that we could protect our health and protect the safety of our families. And, trying to pretend like there's a set way to get through this or that there's only one way to make the most out of this experience right now is asinine and really backwards, because we really have to embrace the fact that we're all newbies to this, and that this is something that none of us really have the answers for how to navigate this level of trauma. And so honoring our emotional spectrum and what we talk about in the Messy Movement Lab around there being a spectrum around our sensuality and our erotic self, from numbness to ecstasy. And numbness isn't something that we're trying to get away from, but it's something that we're acknowledging as a protective mechanism that gets activated in our nervous system, in our minds, in our bodies, so that we can be able to move through some of the experiences of trauma, through some of the experiences of pain that we are having in our lives that don't necessarily just, can't get prayed away. They don't get meditated away. They don't get, washed away with a good affirmation here or there. But it's something that we're really having to figure out, how am I going to move through this 5 minutes at a time? How am I going to wake up tomorrow? How am I going to keep going when I can't leave the house? How am I going to keep, finding ways to build a sense of connection and stay sane in the midst of having deep experiences of isolation? And it's critical that we just accept that, however we're numbing, whatever that looks like. And you can also numb with doing too many spiritual things, you know what I mean? Too many self-care things. That's also a numbing thing, because you're not, there's no action towards whatever, the other needed steps are. But understanding that it's not something nothing that we have to like try to chop down or run away from, or, you know, try to fix or solve, but it's something that we just need to be aware of and that we need to embrace. And so I'm really excited and looking forward to, you know, just getting a chance to move with y'all tonight and get out of our heads and to have a moment to slow down and just reconnect to a sense of aliveness and pleasure and goodness in a really non-traditional way. And, you know, if you're not a mover or you're not a dancer, like, please do not hesitate to come to class tonight, because there's, as I always say, fuck the steps. Like, truly, at the end of the day, fuck the steps. Like, I want you to just show up, take this moment, take this opportunity to reconnect with you, to, you know, to find a sense of community and to, you know, get into a space where you can just breathe for a minute. And, you know, again, like, this isn't, healing is a constant journey, and we're choosing our right mind, we're choosing our healed mind, we're choosing hope, we're choosing faith, we're choosing possibility, we're choosing love, we're choosing joy 5 minutes at a time. And that process is messy, and if it's not messy, then we're just kind of skating over the surface, you know. Like, it's messy, and it's unpredictable, and it's uncertain at times, and it's in building the resiliency to be able to embrace the messiness of the process that really allows us to feel fortified in our spiritual journey, to feel fortified in the way that we connect to ourselves, and to feel fortified in our lives. And so I'm looking forward to dance with y'all tonight. I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to just, you know, to not have to be anything in particular, but just to show up. And that's the biggest part, is show up. You know, like, if you signed up for this course, if you haven't enrolled in Pleasure is Our Fuel, Not a Reward, go ahead and sign up. The link is in my bio. But if you signed up, like, actually use the course. Don't just course hoard. Don't just join just because it's the next cool thing, or it seems like, you know, you should jump on the offer now. Like, I want y'all to sign up for stuff when it feels like you're in alignment with the timing, you're in alignment with the information that's being given, and you feel like it's going to be useful to your journey, and not just because it feels like it's like the next best thing. Like, we have to activate the tools that we've been given and make sure that we're actually applying them and integrating them, because otherwise the work don't work unless you do. And there is no magic fix. There's no nothing that can just, you know, whip you into shape like that. Like, you got to be willing and wanting to have different for yourself in order for things to actually change. And so, you know, I want you, if you're joining the course, use it. There's 2 moving meditations in there. There's a full lecture in there. There's a workbook in there. Like, there's so much content in there for you to be able to use. Just really just get back into yourself. Even if you can't do a full 30-minute practice, even if you don't have the space for a full 30-minute practice, do 5 minutes, do 2 minutes, do it in the bed, do it, you know, in the bathroom, do it, you know, on the side of the bed, like, do it in your living room, do it in your yard, like, do it in the car. There's just so many different ways and places for you to be able to activate this. And when I started to translate this movement practice online in 2017, the whole point was to be able to, one, make sure that when you were coming to my live experiences, that there was a way for you to be able to integrate the work from our live class and take what we were doing on the dance floor home, but then also for you to be able to integrate this practice into the messiness of your day-to-day life. None of this has to look like this perfect self-care Instagram production. Like, that's not the point. The point is for you to be able to drop into your body, for you to be able to get this information, for you to be able to find that sense of connection and clarity to your spirit, to your sense of self, to your sense of truth, to your sense of understanding, to your sense of power, and for you to be able to use that to be able to move forward in your life in a way that is impactful and that leaves you feeling stronger each and every time. And again, the practice don't work unless you work. There is no magic fix. So if you're gonna show up, show up. If you're gonna do the work, do the work. Put your phone on mute, spit your gum out. Put your phone on mute, spit your gum out, bring your notebook, get your, you know, get your setup right, and lock the door if you got to. Let people commit to it all the way. If you are ready to make that connection for yourself tonight, if you're ready to find a space to slow down, find a way to just kind of let go of all of the chatter and the chaos and the criticism and the doubt and the worry and the fear, even if just for only 5 minutes, right? If you're ready for that, then come join me for class tonight. And I'm looking forward to seeing y'all on our dance floor. All right, y'all.